The boys 500 at the VA Showcase will be first up in this invitational window. Of course, we'll have the girls go thereafter, followed by the shuttle hurdles, 4x4s, DMRs, miles, and 300s. But the 500 here is just so special. We've even got the long jumps happening on the infield. We got to commentate on the triple jump off screen, but we're going to be introducing a brand new wrinkle to this 500 Invitational in its 10th year. Some athlete video introductions. You can see the video board there off in the horizon, and our 500-meter boys getting ready to go. Allow me to refresh your memory on what's happened in this event over the past rough half decade. 2022, Will Sumner of Woodstock, Georgia, the eventual Georgia Bulldog and NCAA 800-meter champion, comes out and blazes a 61:25 national record. 2 years later, this young sophomore from Bullis School, I wonder what his name is, Quincy Wilson, that's who we're thinking about, ran 61:27 to nearly break the national record in the 500 as a sophomore. And last year he was poised to destroy it, but ultimately doing so instead was Andrew Salvadon in 60:49, now the number 10 fastest time in indoor world history at a high school invitation. Going back to that question, does it get any more stacked than this? I'll let you be the judge from here. Meeting our competitors one by one. Austin Smith of Archbishop Carroll will be the first to come out of lane number 3 for the Lions. Smith has set PRs in both the 300 and the 500 this season. In this event, 63:99. Here is Davian Booker, the future Baylor Bear from Massaponax, Virginia. 2024 New Balance Nationals 400 hurdles national champion and 2025 national runner-up. Here is the man of the hour, the Olympic gold medalist, the world under-18 400 record holder, searching for the high school record holder over the 500 meters. Quincy Wilson, the third fastest of all time, about to be welcomed into a stadium he knows and cares about so deeply for the final time at a VA Showcase. The future Maryland Terrapin. What more need we say about King Quincy? He will be chasing in lane 6. The final man to come out from Willow Spring out of North Carolina. The state record holder in the Tar Heel State. Still just a junior with great mid-distance range. 101.92 for Joshua Cooper. The full field has been introduced. They're going to get a lengthy walk up to their blocks. Keep in mind, folks, we just witnessed the first ever video walkout of the VA Showcase. This meet is finding new ways to evolve year in and year out, and this 500 meters could very well be the latest chapter. Quincy Wilson comes in as the national leader this time at 62.05, but Booker is right behind him at 62.18. We talked about Joshua Cooper's time. He ran that state record of 61.92 as a sophomore. And what I love about the parallels of this race is that Andrew Salvadon, coming into last year's showcase, was running around the same exact time. He was the Virginia State record holder, then U.S. number 5 all-time of 61.90, and he came out with just about the biggest chip you could put on one shoulder and just ran the race of his life. And though it may have seemed as a bit of a disappointment for Quincy Wilson, in another light, it's a testament to the status that this kid has achieved as a high schooler, to the point where if you defeat him, you can literally change your life in the span of one race. That is the level that the Bullis High School senior has reached. And would you look at that? He is running his very first race in his new signature spikes. Of course, if he's to do so to his liking, he's going to have to make sure his blocks are set perfectly. But Quincy Wilson, the senior from Bullis, it's amazing to think how well he did as a sophomore in this event, and to think of all that he's done since So think of all that he did in the season that ensued. He got revenge on Salvadon for the New Balance Nationals titles in the indoor and outdoor 400. He is a 5-time high school national champion. To think that there is still left for him to accomplish has to keep him hungry in a situation like this. But going back to the competitor's mindset, Davian Booker and Joshua Cooper as the two main ones. And even Austin Smith from Carroll, whose teammate Faraj Al-Amin ended up getting up for 3rd last year. You consider the position that they're in, and seeing what Andrew Salvadon did with his opportunity last year. They have been thinking about this race day and night. I find it hard to believe that you could count any of their hours of sleep last night on more than 2 hands, but they've all been well rested, well peaked for this highly anticipated clash to open the invitational window. Mikey Swanson of Bullis School has vacated this heat, leaving it up to Smith, Booker, Wilson, and Cooper. The high school national record once again held by Andrew Salvadon, set just a year ago, of 60.49. Boys 500 from the VA Showcase. Josh Cooper, the middle distance specialist, starting upright in a sea of sprinters. The crowd erupts as Quincy Wilson explodes out of the blocks. Just like he did last year, he knows he's got to win that race to the break. Smith and Cooper are going to vie it out for second, but Quincy Wilson will emerge off of the break unabated this time as he cuts in smoothly to the rail at 21 mid opening 200, trying to settle into his float phase in this extended sprint. Let's see if Quincy's got the gas and the fitness. Watch that 300-meter split. Quincy is at 33 low. Andrew Salvadon was at 34.18 as his national record attempt. Quincy up by over a second. It is Smith in second. Cooper, the mid-distance stud, in third, and Booker making his move from fourth. But Quincy Wilson with 100 meters to go has his sights set on history. He's looking over his shoulder, starting to tie up. Here comes Booker as they come off the turn. But Quincy Wilson's got the gap. And Quincy Wilson is back on top of the VA Showcase. 60 seconds. Did he get the record? 60.56, just missing it. But U.S. number 2 all time. And a U.S. number 1 by over a second and a half. Quincy Wilson. An all-out effort. He went through 33 low at 300. We already know he's the U.S. leader over that distance at 32.94. So to take it out that hard within a half a second of that was insane. But he did everything he needed to ensure that he got back on top. The second fastest time ever. Salvadon will survive atop the record boards. But if we watch it back one more time, this is where Quincy Wilson led last year. And right here, you can see him taking looks over his left shoulder. He likely knew that he was going to tire in that last 200, given that. So he did not leave it up to chance. See, he's definitely starting to slow down here. But he had plenty of gap. His stride is just so natural. He was looking up at the clock, probably hoping to see a slightly lower decimal. But a 60.56 is still incredible. You consider the difference in his point in the season now to when he ran his 44.10 World Under 18 400 record. It is January, folks. For anybody to be running 60.4, 60.5 is nuts. I mean, we just saw the NCAA lead on this day set over at Ocean Breeze in New York City of 62.33. We're talking about Division I collegians. And their national lead over Division III, rather, is a 62.33. Meanwhile, the future Maryland Terrapin with the future Baylor Bear will go 1-2, Smith and then Cooper. Season bests for the third and fourth place finishers. Booker just off of his U.S. number 2. so much to that race. I'd say last year's will still go down in infamy as one of the greatest to ever happen. But the fact that Quincy Wilson, in the span of the last 3 years, between his former U.S. #2 all-time all the way up to his current U.S. #2 all-time, has brought the 500 to a scale that it has never been prior.